Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Emily Wolfe, and I'm here taking over Epiphone. I'm gonna do a little quick 3 songs for you, and talk about my my Epiphone models that I've got. And yeah, so in my hand right now, I've got a SG Standard 61 Vintage Cherry by Epiphone, and I'm gonna play my first song on it. So yeah, here we go. This one's called Missionary Son. Oh, you had a dream about the weight that you're lifting. Rains are falling hard and the rivers are shifting, and the tides are busy howling at the moon. Oh, you found a light that you knew you were missing. Stumble down a road, down a path of resistance. I'm going. Are you sure? Why don't you show now it's done? Go show 'em how to be the victim. 'Cause you're a missionary son. Yeah, you're the trigger on a shotgun. Know you're wide awake in the town of sleeping. Never wrote a note just to say you were leaving it. 'Cause you know when you can feel it coming on. See, you're at the top and you know you're addicted. Stumble down a ladder with your memories slipping, and you're alone on going. Are you sure? Why don't you show now it's done? Go show 'em how to be the victim. 'Cause you're a missionary son. Yeah, you're the trigger on a shotgun. Thanks, everybody. That was Missionary Son off of my first self-titled album that came out last year. But I used the 61 Vintage Sherry SG on that one. I love the body of this guitar. The way I use the palm of my hand on that that picking pattern is really useful for that song. So yeah, that's that one. And then let me grab another model. So I'm super stoked on this guitar as well. This is my signature prototype, and it's an Epiphone Sheridan model. But I'm going to use this one for a song called Holy Roller. And I love this guitar. I love the body. I love everything about it. There's a master tone knob, which is cool because you can control both pickups with one knob in terms of tone. And it's got lightning bolt inlays and diamond F holes, and it's black. And yeah, I'm going to play another tune for you. So here we go. I will say also there's going to be a Q&A at the end of this set, so stick around if you have any questions. I'll answer your questions, and yeah, we'll have a party with questions and answers, and it's going to be good. Bring your trail mix, bring your Diet Cokes. So. I'm going to build a loop for this one. She gotta praise him and to make her away. So good, so good, so good. Don't wanna play this game. I know that every man will make his case. He can't be losing in the destiny race. They get paid, they get paid, they get paid to keep me in my case. I wanna get up, I wanna get high with you. I don't wanna fight, I don't wanna fight with you. We risk it again to fix it again. We risk it again to fix it again and again. I wanna get up, I wanna get high with you. I don't wanna fight, I don't wanna fight with you. We risk it again to fix it again. We risk it again to fix it again and again. Track mine. He says your body isn't yours, it's mine. I get laid, they invade. I can't keep off my case. Can't put your burden on your daughters and sons. We don't get over this, we're over and done. It's so good, it's so good, it's no good. Don't wanna play this game. I wanna get up, I wanna get high with you. I don't wanna fight, I don't wanna fight with you. We risk it again to fix it again. We risk it again to fix it again and again. I wanna get up, I wanna get high with you. I don't wanna fight, I don't wanna fight with you. We risk it again to fix it again. We risk it again to fix it again and again. it again. Push it again to fix it again and again. Cool. So that was Holy Roller, one of my tunes. And I played it with my signature Sheridan prototype. Yeah, I'm stoked about this guitar, and I hope you are too. But I got another song, and it's gonna be my last tune, and then we'll do a little Q&A. If you have any questions about the guitar or anything else, like what I'm eating for dinner, or what kind of TV shows I'm watching, but mainly about guitars. So 1 second. This is my original Sheridan 2 that my prototype is based on. This guitar is very special to me. I wrote my entire record on this guitar, and it's just a stock Sheridan 2. And as you can tell, it's been around the block, been on the road. It is scratched up to bits, but it is a workhorse, and I love these guitars. That's one of the reasons why I love Epiphone, is just because you can throw it around anywhere and it'll stay intact and sound great. But yeah, for those of you who are just joining, I'm Emily Wolfe taking over Epiphone. And yeah, and if you want to start asking your questions now, you can do that, and I'll read them and I'll answer them. So for now, I'll play a song called Add a Blues, and I'm going to play it on this original Sheridan because I wrote the song on this one. And yeah, it's a really special guitar, and the song is a lot of fun to play, especially live with the band. But you know, hopefully live music will come back soon, and I'll get to hang out with you all in person. But here we go. This one is called Add a Blues. you give me all your demons? Why don't you tell me how to feel? Tired of feeling that you're leaving. Or is that part of your appeal, baby? Why don't you give me all your reasons? Why don't you show me how to deal? You got me walking on the ceiling. I'm gonna hate you till you feel it, baby. Thank you so much. That concludes the performance part of this, and let's move on to the Q&A. Let me check out your questions real quick. 1 second. Okay. Henrik wants to know how the tuning stability is on the SG61. It's killer. It's killer. Even with a Vibrola, it is. It's always in tune. I've never had any kind of trouble with it. Let's see what kind of. The tuners are vintage machine heads, so they're killer tuners. And yeah, the tuning stability's great. This thing is solid as a rock, and I'm in love with it. Let's see. What's another good question? Lars from Facebook wants to know if I've considered putting a Bigsby on the Sheridan 2. I have not, but that's a good suggestion. I do have a Gibson with the Bigsby on it, and I love it. But there's something about just the plain, simple, no Bigsby on my original Sheridan that I love because I can just throw it around and it feels like a part of me. And I don't have to worry about accidentally hitting a mic stand with any kind of Bigsby. But that's just because it's me, and I'm a little bit klutzy on stage, but it's fun anyway. And what's another question I see? Facebook. Chris from Facebook wants to know how you get that great fuzz tone. I'm so glad you asked that, Chris. I have several pedals, and I love pedals. I normally get all my tone from my pedals. But if you want to know the fuzz tone, it's actually not a fuzz. It's an OCD, a full tone OCD, and a tentacle together stacked. But if you want to know more about my entire rig, there's going to be a Premier guitar rig rundown that's going to come out in a few weeks, and I'll go over my entire board with you, specifically you, Chris. And yeah, so check that out in a couple weeks on Premier Guitar, and you'll see all the pedals that I use. Let's see what else. A lot of people asking when my guitar is coming out. Right now, it's going to come out in January of 2021, and by then I hope all this quarantine stuff is over with, because I'm ready to play some live music for you. Anyway, what's another one? Debbie wants to know, how do you like the SG61? I love the SG61. If you were to cover up the headstock, you would not know it's an Epiphone, because it plays like a Gibson. It's inspired by a Gibson. It feels very high quality. So I love it. I'll probably be playing it on stage out live whenever I can play live music again. And yeah, that's about it. Any other questions? Got any other questions for you? Can you play some Pantera? I cannot play some Pantera, but I have played Hot for Teacher by Van Halen and Ace of Spades by Motorhead. Will I ever get a replica of the Gibson triple pickup SG Customs from the early 1960s? I sure hope I do. I'll tell you, I sure hope I do. That'd be awesome. But yeah, Nick from Facebook wants to know what amps you use with Epis. Um, I like to use combo amps. I like to use 410 speaker configurations, and I love a 50-watt combo amp. That is my go-to. So if there's one of those laying around, that's what I'm gonna use. Um, yeah, and then let's see. Um, Chris from Facebook wants to know if you have any more albums in the works. I do. I have a very exciting record that I'm working on right now with a pretty exciting producer. I wish I could share the name of this guy, but I'll give you a little hint. He's a member of Queens of the Stone Age. So I may have said too much just now, but who cares? Whatever. It's fun. Um, but yeah, so I got my album in the works, and I'm not sure when it's going to come out, but it's working. I'm working on it, and so yeah, you know what? I guess that's about it. I guess that's about it for the live stream. And thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this was a lot of fun for you. It was fun for me. And someone said some improvisation question mark. So sure, I'll do some of that. Why not? Give me a beat. I'm just kidding. There we go. There's some improvisation, and that was some songs. And I'm Emily Wolfe. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I'm loving all these Epiphone models. I can't wait to get this guitar out to you. And I hope you had a lot of fun with me. I had a lot of fun with you. And now I'm gonna go drink some Diet Coke and probably smoke a little cigarette. And here we go, hanging loose. Okay. See ya.